Hello, Greg Herbert here, and I would like to welcome you to our 150th video. Before I start another, and dare I say very important intelligent anime review, I would like to give a couple of shoutouts and make a brief advertisement for a good friend of mine. First, I would like to give a shout-out to two bona fide compatriots in arms, my brother in arms, the leader Deslock, the voice of reason of Anime Nation forums, to my sisters in arms, Saro Khan and Kate Famad of Save Anime in 2008. And now I would like to give a message. Porn is a degrading addiction to both men and women. It teaches men that women are sex objects, and it teaches women to be sex objects. The porn industry should be attacked by the public and governments. If no one cares or stands up against this, girls will continue to suffer, and boys will be dragged down by this addiction to feed the industry. Most men or women who get addicted to porn start early. They see porn when they are very young, and it gets its foot in the door. You keep coming back to porn. It becomes a regular part of your life. You're hooked and can't quit. You start to look for more graphic pornography. You start using porn that disgusted you earlier. Now, it excites you. You start to become numb to the images you see. Even the most graphic porn doesn't excite you anymore. You become desperate to feel the same thrill again, but you can't find it. This is the point where men or women make a crucial jump and start acting out the images they have seen. Some move from the paper and plastic images of porn into the real world, with real people, in destructive ways. If you wouldn't be okay with your own daughter, sister, wife, girlfriend, or mother, etc. being in porn, and countless thousands of boys and men masturbating to objectifying and dehumanizing images of them on a regular basis, why would it be okay for you to masturbate to images of other people's daughters, sisters, wives, girlfriends, or mothers, etc.? It is important to remember that every single girl or woman that you see in pornography is indeed somebody's daughter, and / your sister, wife, girlfriend, or mother. And they are every bit as worthy of respect and being treated with dignity as your daughter, sister, wife, or mother. Assuming you wouldn't be okay with your own daughter being in porn, you can either continue to use porn and choose hypocrisy, selfishness, and indifference, or you can choose to treat other people's daughters as you would want your own daughter to be treated, stop using porn, and thus choose to embrace empathy, kindness, and compassion and be a better person and live with integrity. Just something to consider. Please seek professional help if you are having trouble quitting porn if you can. Also get support from friends, family, and real-life and online support groups. In addition to pornography degrading love, sex, women, and all humanity, including boys and men, pornography frequently glorifies and promotes sadism, masochism, rape, incest, pedophilia, and abuse of and violence against women in general. It also harms relationships, marriages, families and children, and creates demand for prostitution and international sex trafficking. Here's some info from the study on mainstream pornography, a comparison of male and female directors in popular pornography, and or the price of pleasure. 89.8% of the scenes included either verbal or physical aggression. 48% contained verbal aggression, mostly name-calling and insults. 82.2% contained physical aggression. 94.4% of the aggressive acts were targeted at women. 70% of pornography's audience is straight males watching alone. Pornography is involved in about 70% of sexual abuse cases. Watching pornography may lead to one partner wanting to recreate the on-screen actions and perhaps even film them. The content in pornography is getting harsher and harsher. Joe Gallant, of Black Mirror Productions, admits that he thinks the future of American porn is violence. Torture-like scenes are already produced. I hate porn, hate it with a passion, and if you do too, please visit my friends at the Anti-Pornography blog. What is the Anti-Pornography blog? Anti-porn is against the harms of pornography, prostitution, sexual abuse, exploitation, and trafficking, but not against personal private nudity, gay or bisexual people, porn performers, non-porn facilitated masturbation, non-public sex between consenting mature adults, age-appropriate sex education, or access to respectful erotica by mature adults. Note: it is also against violence of all types, except for self-defense. So join the fight against pornography. Go to Anti-Pornography Blog's YouTube channel and also visit www.antiporn.org. Get proactive and flag all porn you come across on YouTube. Subscribe to this channel. More videos soon. Become a friend of this channel. Send an invitation or accept one. Add this channel to your recommended channels box on your profile. Share this channel with others at YouTube and elsewhere. Leave a comment on this page and/or one of this channel's videos, sharing your support for the cause and/or why you are against pornography. More can be found at Anti-Pornography Blog's channel, which is linked to our channel, Anti-Pornography Blog. Non-religious, anti-censorship, pro-egalitarian sexuality, pro-free speech, pro-education, to reduce demand for pornography and the supply of it, pro-reasonable regulation of pornography production, for health and safety. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for yet another important intelligent, and I mean very intelligent anime review that everyone that loves anime should watch. In this case, this particular review is sort of an anime kind of review. As you know, we have been posting many videos that speak on the issue of Law 156 involving the restriction of certain anime and manga with questionable elements to being adults only. Well, a friend told me about a popular anime that has been streaming on the Crunchyroll website. Though I detest Crunchyroll, I thought that the anime, since it was getting a notorious reputation because of its title and buzz, especially in the light of the passing of Law 156, Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt is a show that pays homage to the classic cartoons from the modern golden age of animation during the pre-anime explosion era between 1991 and 1999, when masters like John Kricfalusi, Craig McCracken, and perhaps the most celebrated of them all, Genndy Tartakovsky, ruled the comedy animation airwaves. Produced by gainax as Hiroyuki Emeshi, the series' animation is done in a distinct style resembling said legendary North American cartoons like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Ren and Stimpy, and like shows of same vintage, much different than gainax's previous works. The series also has many sexual themes in every episode. Following the broadcast of Emeshi's previous project, Gurren Lagann, the show's staff went on a trip for rest and relaxation. At that time, they aired their opinions to each other under drunken and humorous circumstances, saying such things as, "Next time, I want to try this," in regards to approaches to animation. Almost all of the concept for the anime was made during the initial trip. The names of main characters, Panty and Stocking, were coined at the very first meeting. The theme of the anime is vulgar and indecent jokes, with Emeshi saying, "If we are going to do this, we will try it thoroughly." The Anarchy sisters, Panty and Stocking, are angels who were kicked out of heaven due to their bad behavior. They are sent to Dayton City, a pun on the Japanese word datenshi, literally meaning fallen angel, a place located on the edge of heaven and hell. Strange monsters called ghosts besiege the city, but the Anarchy sisters wield a variety of mysterious powers, most notably their ability to transform their clothing into weapons. Under the watchful eye of Reverend Garterbelt, and with their pet zipper dog Chuck, it's up to Panty and Stocking to destroy these ghosts in order to collect enough heaven coins to return to heaven. Now, despite its title, it should be noted that this isn't an eechi comedy. Those aren't funny, or even passable as entertainment. If you came here looking for one of those, and are now looking at me review with a twisted expression of shock on your face, it should be noted that I personally and sincerely hate you and several things that look like you. Yes, there are more sex jokes than I've ever seen in a 12-minute cartoon segment, but the girls themselves are not fappable. That's the point. If something along the lines of unfappable and I'm girls. What is this? Just escaped the blubber of your face. This isn't the show for you. In fact, most shows and animation in general isn't for you. As said in the previous section, this show was designed to be the antithesis of every ecchi series that has ruined anime in the last decade. The punchline is that there are often scenes where Panty and Stocking become similar to standard, over-proportioned anime women to cock tease otaku, and there are people here who are actually going, "I don't get it. Why wasn't the whole show like that? Jesus Christ." Saying that, people don't get me wrong, though yours truly found the series to be comical at times in its parody of the trash that has been more fetish and eechi anime, and for that matter the atrocity that is hentai. I thought the series was still an insult to my intelligence. Certainly not recommended for anyone with a college-level education. The main argument as to why Panty and Stocking is a masterpiece are all embellished ways of saying funny. It's a parody and cool art. Some people go as far as to say that Panty and Stocking is actually genius scripting, a juxtaposition between today's current mo-anime standard and hardcore American pop culture. I've even come across the explanation that Panty and Stocking is a new level of anime, one that doesn't require intricate or meaningful plot, characters, or story. Essentially an anime that thrives on emotion and its acute sense of humor. That, my friends, is complete motherfucking bullshit. Panty and Stocking is an anime that relies on swears, penis jokes, and violence as its selling point. Now many anime have capitalized on at least one of these points before and have succeeded. Detroit Metal City, Sita Kayaku no, and Bikano, in respective order. So Panty and Stocking tried to do all three simultaneously. I found this not only moronic, but offensive. Never before have I actually been ashamed of watching anime. I am a male, and I have even strapped myself to a chair and watched such titles as Boku no Pico, Bible Black, The Ghost Stories dub, and a high amount of other borderline disturbing anime and media with radical content and ideas, and not ever have I felt what I felt when watching Panty and Stocking. I felt stupid. What do I mean by that? I mean that Panty and Stocking insulted my intelligence, and grouped me in the level of humor that one would find in such riveting pieces of American glory like Family Guy and Super Jail. I personally watch anime because I view it as a medium that has great qualities that other media culture could learn from. I openly started Panty and Stocking with hopes that it would verily mock the tropes one could find in American media in a way that had not been done before. What I received was a trash bin of repetitive storylines combined with zero-dimensional characters that did nothing but yell about phalluses and excrement. The attempt on grasping American culture, even today's pop culture, which is what I believe Panty and Stocking wanted to poke fun at, disgusted me. Not once did I find the use of references to famous American films appropriate. Not only did the references have nothing to do with the episodes at hand, I felt that Panty and Stocking tried to take such references and use them as a tool of manipulation, trying to coax viewers into thinking that Panty and Stocking was legitimately a smart piece of composition. I can easily see where people would be misled, that is, with the art looking similar to various cartoons in America. Panty and Stocking must be a parody. Not at all. In fact, Powerpuff Girls had a stronger plot to begin with, and to even group this anime together with that cartoon would be slander to Craig McCracken. The animation may be new to Japan, but it has been seen before in cartoons, and it's been seen better. So all exclamations like, the art is weird so it's good, and different art just isn't appreciated, are false. Gainax, one of the most acclaimed and profitable animation studios in Japan, truly abused the art style to boot. Watching only a few episodes you can see where corners were cut, which is extremely noticeable in episodes 10, 11, and 12. A recap in a 13-episode anime should never be necessary. How is it that anime such as Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Monster, and Glass Mask, spanning over 50 episodes each, never used a single recap episode in its main series, yet Gainax has the balls to put one in a 13-episode/comedy/series? Truly outrageous. The characters in Panty and Stocking might as well have been pieces of shit or drivels of snot. Oh, I must have forgotten. They are pieces of shit and drivels of snot. Nearly every antagonist, save the demon sisters whom I will touch upon in a moment, makes the characters from Mars of Destruction look creative. They exist solely to be discarded, and even worse, to swallow precious moments of your time away. The demon sisters who were introduced halfway through the series actually shined a beam of light down onto this hellhole of a production, but only briefly. They were first brought into play standing for everything that Panty and Stocking opposed, and after their episode had ended, I hoped for more episodes similar to theirs to occur. But what do I get? A conflict that builds between the antagonists and protagonists for one episode, and then the demon sisters regress into Team Rocket. Never again are the demon sisters relevant as antagonists, and most of the preceding episodes are focused on them releasing some sort of monster, and then failing as they fly into the sky. Now the supporting characters might as well be called the crippling characters, because that is really all they do to the overall story. Garterbelt does nothing but hinder the story, and abuse the stereotypical all priests are gay child molesters. If this was meant to be a way to confront the issue in the Vatican, it failed, and if it was meant to be a funny comment on the Church's political standpoint, then well, it failed again. Garterbelt assumes the role of mentor to Panty in Stocking, but ultimately ends up being a total eyesore, and teaches the protagonists nil. And then there's Chuck, who is likened by many to Gur from the Invaders M series. The main difference between the two is that Gur was actually funny. I really don't think I have to go into much detail on Chuck's character design, because all he says is Chuck and is then squashed by a larger object. He plays absolutely no role at any point in the series, but there exists an episode in which he is the focus. After watching this episode, I was very much tempted to sign up for lessons in Japanese, so I could write angry letters to the writer in his native language begging him to quit his career in animation and move on to a medium that won't suffer from his obvious mental deficiency. Then is the character named Brief, who portrays the clutch disgusting otaku with no merits other than his apparently large penis. His atrocious character design is only overshadowed by Panty's single trait, how much of a gigantic unlovable disease-infested whore she is. Both her and Stocking are obvious fodder for prepubescent virgin teenagers attracted to the sheer idea of sex. I would even go as far as saying that if this anime did not contain explicit transformation scenes in which characters remove their undergarments, it would be nowhere near as acclaimed as it is. That is to say, the fanbase consists of perverts striving to find some deeper meaning in their anime, which they try to defend by explaining that if you don't like it, then you must have a poor sense of humor or need to loosen up. Compare Panty and Stocking to Mitsudamo, both anime including large amounts of sexual content used as jokes. Mitsudamo has characters that possess qualities beyond she likes sweets and a huge bitch though. Panty and Stocking can't actually even compete with Mitsudamo on a scale larger than sex jokes, because the characters and story are so disabled that it merely strives to fill the void with even more moments of mediocrity. I don't find Panty and Stocking unfunny, because it doesn't suit my humor. I find it unfunny, because there is no humor to begin with. Then there's the canon discontinuation. Anyone who tries to make sense of the abominable ending, or any one of the episodes altogether, deserves to have themselves locked into a sanitarium. Another reviewer describes the 2 11-minute episodes per episode as a ×2 multiplier, but I disagree and say that it's actually a divided by 2 denominator. The split episodes merely reflect the inconsistency and the lack of coherency that Panty and Stocking exclusively has. One moment the entire cast is zombified, the next everyone is on the bitch being sexually violated by sea monsters. Not ever will the story amount to anything beyond not having one. The sound in Panty and Stocking, I will cede, is very good. The ending song, performed by Lisa, is wonderful and regrettably has very little to do with the anime. In the ending sequence, a scene that appears to be a vague backstory on both Panty and Stocking exists, and alas, once more, gainax turned their noses away from such a sweet-smelling idea. Even cartoons for the youngest of children have stories explaining the origination of their characters. Dora the Explorer had more character development than Panty and Stocking. Beyond the ending are numerous in-episode tracks. While it's very enjoyable, I felt that many of them were overplayed and often unfitting. I can recall about 4 episodes ending with a song that includes the lyrics "Clap Your Hands." The opening is closest thing to piece of satirical work. The song is a shout-out to all cartoons which only repeat the character's name over and over again. Now, if you've actually read this far, I believe you've come to the conclusion that I hate Panty and Stocking. If you thought anything but that, then you're wrong. Because I detest Panty and Stocking more than a Red Sox fan from Boston hates the Yankees. It is an insult to the medium of anime almost as much as is when someone says you like anime. Then you must love anime porn, and I will end this review saying Panty and Stocking does nothing but encourage statements like that. It gives a foul name to anime, for it lacks the fineness that geniuses like Tezuka and Kon worked themselves to death to bring us. When it comes to Panty and Stocking, I am disturbed with anime being associated with it. Worse, this also defames the names of this atrocity's Western inspirators. It insults the genius, that is Jendy Tartakovsky, the gnus of Craig McCracken, and the genius of John Kricfalusi. And for people who may find this review too serious, and that I must not have understood the point of this show, I would like to say that I did not miss the point. You just made up a point yourself, because this anime lacks one. God damn it. I can't believe that Japan has been coming up with turds like this. It makes me cry to know that this piece of shit is called anime. God damn it. Gainax, your asses should be ashamed of yourselves. No wonder why Mayor Ishihara pushed 156. Come on, anime, let's get to better.
CRAF, let's get to better.